Stolen by James. Miller ahead. Here it goes. Down.
A gorgeous nighttime view of historic Boston, Massachusetts, lighting up the twilight sky. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan, joined by Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr, with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. And now we take a brief check at the matchups. Our starting five for both teams. First for Cleveland, Irving and Waiters, the guards. And inside, a towering 7-footer, maybe the most imposing big man in the game. All-star center, Andrew Bynum. Then it's Alonzo G. And it's Thompson in at the power forwards position. And for Boston, speedy backcourt of Rondo and Bradley. And it's Kelly Olynyk out of Gonzaga, a 7-footer with inside-outside offensive skills in the middle at center. What a tremendous talent, getting ready for his first NBA appearance. And there's Green, and it's Bass in at the 4-man position.
Guys, the Celtics went from being a powerhouse in the East and middle of the pack last season, but they still protected their home court as well as anybody. Easy to find inspiration here with the parquet floor under your shoes and the banners hanging over top.
You do have to love the parquet floor here, as you said, Clark. Pride certainly a factor last season, as the Celtics were able to finish, Steve, with a 27-13 record here at their home.
And even though the Celtics would end up just as the 7th seed in the East, you knew they would control their home floor just because of their veteran experience, their talent, their coaching. So they were really able to ride that home court into the playoffs.
Rondo drives in. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. We'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
And that's a difficult shot in the face of a defender that towers over him.
Well, you know, he almost seems to enjoy those mismatches, Steve. It gives him a chance to show what a strong finisher he is.
Well, because of his passing abilities, Kevin, I mean, if you're going to play with him, your only job is to get open on the floor, because he will get you the ball, and he'll give it to you in rhythm so that you can get a good shot off.
And what amazing skills he has as a distributor, too, Steve. He doesn't just pass the ball effectively. He does it in spectacular fashion, too. Before his injury last season, it was quite clear that while the rest of the Celtics bunch could still hold their own, this would no doubt be Rondo's team moving forward.
Now, here is Irving. Waiters with the ball. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that one's good by G.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
Here's Boston now. And for Rondo and the Celtics, had actually explored trading him in the past. You always hear the rumors he butted heads with Doc Rivers, and they wondered if he was too individualistic. Now they hand him the keys.
Well, he's a tremendous player, Rondo, and a guy who can take over a game. And there have been times when he's been a little moody. We've seen him bump officials. He's gotten suspended. You know, he's gotten into little tiffs with teammates. But I kind of like that feistiness, too, as long as it's channeled in the right way.
And here's Rondo. Second chance shot. And the shot is good. Rondo's got 5. Back to Irving. Tipped. 4 on the clock. It's stolen by Bass. Here's Olynyk. Pass to Bass. That's at 5. Can't hit. Great D that time from Thompson.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on him, they expect him to make it.
Irving passes to Bynum. Irving drives in. It's good, and it's Bynum with the assist. Irving's got his first bucket of the night.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Outside Rondo. Feeds to Bradley.
Watch outside.
Left side, Bradley. Now the dish to Olynyk. He kicks to Green. Shoots. And he hits the jump shot. Green's got his first 2 points.
Well, Mike Brown hired back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I got a chance to know him a little bit when he was an assistant with the Pacers early in his coaching career and was let go by the Cavs back in 2010. Family laid down roots in Cleveland, and I think he's glad to be back.
Here's Irving after Jeff Green's bucket. Here's Waiters. And Boston with the rebound. We'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Mike Brown. What's the news there, Doris?
I asked him which player he was most worried about, and his answer was immediate: Rajon Rondo. He said Rondo's ability to take control of games with his defense and his playmaking make it tough to mitigate what he can do on the floor. We'll see if he has something up his sleeve, guys.
Thanks, Doris. And for Mike Brown, his firing, kind of a desperation move by the Cavs to try to keep LeBron James. Steve, how'd you analyze that?
Well, I'm not sure that LeBron actually wanted him gone, but, you know, he's a great defensive strategist, a guy who excels in player development. And give credit to him, he didn't burn any bridges when he left. He maintained strong relationships there in Cleveland, and it's great to see Mike Brown back there with the Cavaliers.
Both free throws good for Irving. The Cavaliers leading by 4. And for Jeff Green in Seattle, then Oklahoma City playing alongside Kevin Durant. Green, Steve, ended up at the power forward position, and I thought he was thriving with Boston.
Yeah, I like that position for him, actually, because when you put him at the small forward, offensively, he's limited. You put him at the 4, now he can drive right around his man and use his speed and quickness. But defensively, he can guard pretty much anybody out there size-wise.
Lee kicks to Green. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
Yeah, me too, Clark. I think anytime you have success pounding the ball inside, you got to continue to go to the well.
Chris Humphries has checked in for Cleveland.
Going into the season, the hopes were high for the Cavs this past year, but the injury bug really derailed them. Injuries to Irving, Thompson, Zeller, and the big one, the Varejao, really threw them off kilter in terms of having a decent season.
Now, here's Bennett. Waiters dishes to Bennett. Kicks it to Waiters. Some nice passing by Cleveland here. Shot clock at 6. Lets it go from the wing. And the shot is good. Waiters got his second basket of the night. And going back to the injuries for Cleveland last year, Clark was just talking about the Varejao injury was huge as he provided so much for them in the interior. Here's Bradley. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Passes it to Bass. He dishes it to Lee. Takes a 3. Gets it to go. And this game is tied up now.
Well, you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Cavaliers have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Irving kicks to G. The pass to Bennett. The feed to G. He passes to Bennett. The dish to G. Pass to Bennett. Outside Irving. Just 5 on the clock. Again, Irving missing.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Yeah, they're lucky that they didn't get burned on that one.
Jeff Green on the wing. And there are the Celtics with another basket.
And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, you know, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
And another specialty of his is the 3 ball from the corner. That's his signature shot.
Here's Irving after Jeff Green's bucket. Irving passes to G. Feeds it to Bennett. He kicks to G. from downtown. Rebounded by the Celtics. Now here's Bradley. Back to Humphries. Deflected. Oh, and here we go. Irving's got it. The fast break chance. That's good. Irving's got 6.
That finish brings me back to the old days, the silky smooth finger roll.
The Celtics have gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame. Bradley kicks to Lee. Stolen by Waiters. Now Cleveland moving it up. Here's Irving. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. He's got 8. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Cavaliers.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early quarters.
Well, the other thing I like is defensively, they're causing turnovers, and that's allowing them to get into transition.
Cleveland's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first.
You know, Avery Bradley missed the first 3 months of last season after undergoing surgery on both shoulders, brother. I mean, when Rondo went down with his ACL tear, Bradley stepped into the starting point guard role, and I thought performed very well.
Took him no time at all on that one. Bradley's got his first basket of the night. The Cavaliers trailing. Now Irving, 8 points for him. Dishes to G. Takes the 3. And yes, sir, that one drops. G's got 6 points. And for Bradley, a tremendous defender, and Steve able to defend either the 1 or the 2.
Well, he's listed at 6'2", but he has incredibly long arms and quick feet. So he's strong enough to guard bigger players, but his best attribute is putting pressure on the ball. It's a nightmare just trying to bring the ball up the floor against Bradley.
One of the best on-ball defenders, wouldn't you say, in the NBA?
Yeah, no doubt.
And here's Bradley after the three-pointer from G. 1:29 left in the first quarter. 6 to shoot. And it's Bradley off the drive. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You knew that at some point the window for the group of Celtics that had won a title was going to close. I mean, it was inevitable. But last year seemed like they were going to go for one last hurrah as they added some depth and looked to reload for another run.
And getting back to the Celtics and Rondo's injury, a lot of people expected them to start the rebuilding process. Ended up standing pat at the deadline, Steve. Even though there was, it seemed, a lot of interest.
You know, you want to give that group, KG and Pierce and Rondo, you want to give them another run. And they had their last hurrah. They didn't get it finished. And now you start the rebuilding project. So a lot of trades, a lot of movement over the summer. But I like the fact that they gave that club one more run.
C.J. Miles, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. Jack comes in for Dion Waiters. And he's good on the second.
Well, you know, last season I think officially brought the immediate championship aspirations of the Celtics to a close. The 7th seed in the East, dispatched in the first round by the Knicks. The rebuild was on in full cycle.
Now here's Bennett. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And Jack gets to Bennett. Back to Jack. Shoots the 3. And another 3 for Cleveland. And back to the Celtics, making the playoffs, sure, but, you know, not like Steve back in 08 or 2010.
Well, this has been a phenomenal era, with KG and Pierce that is now a thing of the past. But look, they've hoisted a championship banner, very close to another, but it's just time to move on. And that's just the way it is in the NBA. These things go in waves, and the Celtics now in rebuilding mode.
Celtics trail by 3. And here's Bradley. Wallace with the ball. Now defended by Forza. And the slam dunk by Wallace. This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
And you know, frustrated Steve is on that.
You know what? Come on. I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force. You know, the only tough part of that basket for him was getting into such good position. The rest of it seemed easy.
Bradley kicks to Wallace. Lets it go with the three. And it's rebounded by Anderson Varejao. Cleveland leading by 3. Jack dishes to Bennett. Pass to Irving. He feeds it to Miles. Kicks to Varejao. Wallace on him. The turnaround Shea. It's stolen by Sullivan. Both teams have it going here early and still close through the first quarter. Cavaliers ahead, leading by 3. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. So far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And taking a look at the Cavaliers' performance here, Clark, Steve, what have they been doing or not doing?
Well, I'll tell you what, I like what I've seen from this club defensively. They're forcing a lot of turnovers with their quick hands and ability to play the passing lane.
Well, you talk about quick hands, but I think it's the mindset of being aggressive and then obviously being active with the hands, tracing that ball so you can come up with deflections that may lead to steals.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Guys, Jared Jack might have the largest collection of basketball shoes in the league with over 1,500 pairs. He said, I remember when I had a condo in one city and I didn't have many places to put them. So I started putting them in cabinets. You'd go into the kitchen to get a cup and there'd be shoes in there. He says that once his playing days are over, he envisions future endeavors in sneaker design. Guys, he's following his passion.
Interesting. Thanks, Doris. Shoots. And there's Gerald Holmes on the assist by Rondo.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
The Cavaliers leading by 3. Irving with the ball. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
One thing people kind of forget about with Irving is that in addition to all the skills he has at the point guard spot, he's a pretty physical point guard. He's well put together and can muscle it up with about any defender he faces.
And for Irving with his size and good athleticism, the potential is there to be a very good defensive player as well.
I think that's an area where he himself, Kevin, has acknowledged that he has some work to do. He's been focused so much on his offensive game, but now is the time to take that next step and become a real solid two-way player. You look at Irving and how much success he's had early in his NBA career. I think the only thing standing between him and true stardom right now is health. He's just had a lot of nagging injuries. He would love to put together an injury-free season.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Bennett. And so Irving nails both of them. And for Kyrie Irving, his first All-Star appearance last season, and just Clark his second year.
Well, you look at his age and what he's doing, really a skilled scorer and playmaker already with size and athleticism. I like his savvy too, Kevin. He's very slick in how he gets around the basketball court. This kid has a chance to perhaps be an MVP caliber player in a few more years.
It's his first three-pointer of the second half, which actually makes it his first of the game.
Gives him the lead pass. Here's Miles. Bynum trying to break loose. Miles, that's good. Celtics trail by 4. Rondo kicks to Sullinger. About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. Wallace the pass to Lee. Nice ball movement by Boston. Rondo dishes to Sullinger. From deep, that's good.
That's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
I just love the mentality they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing anything. They're moving it side to side and working to get a good shot.
Cavaliers have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. Irving kicks to Jack. He passes to Bynum. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. From 12 feet out. That's good. Bynum's got his second bucket tonight.
Now you got to love the footwork. How about that turnaround?
Boston's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. The drive by Rondo. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Well, he earned that one. Took the hit and still found a way to knock it down.
Yeah, fantastic body control. And the will to get it done. You like that focus.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Waiters has checked in. For Boston, they have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4. And Rondo, no good on that one.
You know, it's really hard to say that Lady Luck hasn't been smiling on the Cavs in the past few years. LeBron was lost a few years back, but ever since then, they've had tremendous luck in the NBA draft lottery and had the first overall.
For your Celtics dance.
Celtics trail by 3. Back to Wallace. Pass to Lee. Tipped away. Stolen by Waiters. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Thank you, Kevin. There was a lot of speculation on what the Cavs would do leading up to last summer's draft. No clear-cut number 1, and they had a handful of guys to select from and even tried to shop the pick. Ultimately, they shocked everyone and took Anthony Bennett first overall. They're hopeful it works out as well as their last few number 1 picks, guys.
Yeah, great young player and certainly a stand-up individual. Thanks, Doris. No good from Lee.
Courtney Lee out of Western Kentucky. You know, last season a mid-level signee by the Celtics. Competes at the defensive end. Offensively, he's a good shooter with his feet set from long range and really kind of likes the corner pocket three-pointers.
Feeds to Olynyk. Shot is off. Some solid D here from Bynum. The Cavaliers leading by 5. Left side, Jack. Hooked away. And now it's Wallace running. He can go all the way. And the jam by Rondo.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
For Cleveland, they've gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. And for Courtney Lee, probably his best shots. He's that three-pointer.
Yeah, I think so. You know, he's a guy who can get out in transition and finish at the rim, but he's got a career three-point average of about 38%. So look for him to be even more aggressive firing away out there.
And Cleveland making a change here. Here's Miles. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. Celtics trailed by 3. Bradley kicks to Green. And it's sent back by Varejao. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession.
16 seconds.
The Cavaliers leading by 3. Jack passes to Waiters. He kicks it to Thompson. Outside Jack. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Olynyk. Olynyk got 4 rebounds now tonight.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
And there's Gerald Wallace on the assist by Bradley. And it's now only a 1-point Cleveland lead. Cavaliers shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. Verajao setting the pick for Jack. Here is Miles, guarded by Green. Verajao can't hit.
This is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot.
For the Cavaliers, Bennett's checked in for Tristan Thompson. And Alonzo G's subbed in for C.J. Miles. Well, the Cavaliers shooting the ball at a 43% rate here in the second. Jack, he's covered by Rondo. And Jack, here we go. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Jack's got 5 now. Celtics trail by 3. Outside Rondo. Dishes to Bradley. Pass to Sullinger. Deflects the pass. Stolen by Verajao. G kicks to Waiters. And Boston with the rebound.
Rebounds are split just about down the middle in this game, Clark.
I'd venture to guess whichever team is able to maintain that energy level on the glass will have the upper hand the rest of the way.
Green inside the three-point line. And that one's on target from the wing. He's got 9. Cavaliers have gone 7 of 16, shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter.
You know, you think of what a typical Eastern Conference team plays like, and you often think of the Celtics. I mean, they like to slow it up. They'll play hard D and take their fouls when they can. Still, the Celtics last year were just average when it came to playing the rest of the conference.
Now here's Rondo after the miss from Verajao. Outside, Green. Rondo. Back to Green. Nice ball movement by Boston. Rondo kicks to Humphries. 6 on the shot clock. Kept alive by Boston. Bradley. Foul call. Looked like that he didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws.
That's his first personal foul.
Well, and back to the Celtics, even as you said, Clark, they do all the things most Eastern Conference teams do well. They just couldn't keep it together, Steve, to finish far above 500 in the East.
Well, losing Rondo was a huge part of it as they had to adjust their entire offense midway through the season. And I think a lot of it, too, is, the rest of the East has caught up to them, and time is finally catching up to them.
C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Jarrett Jack. And that drops, so they now lead by 1. And here's Cleveland. 1:41 left here in the second. Here is Miles. Green with the block. Kicks to G. Just 5 to shoot. He feeds it to Miles. Now Boston takes it the other way.
Just getting on the court last season was a big triumph for Jeff Green, who was forced to sit out a year after undergoing heart surgery. You look at how he progressed over the season. He got better with each month. Really inspirational.
And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for Boston?
Well, Kevin, in the first half of play, they're really closing out aggressively, blocking shots, and a key indicator of their activity defensively.
And another thing, Steve, they've really done well tonight is getting in the passing lanes. They've been active with their hands, feet have been in good position, and they've come up with a lot of steals. That's making a difference here, too.
Going back to Jeff Green, the Celtics had to be encouraged to see the way he progressed as last season went on.
I thought last year was good for him. He emerged confidence-wise. He seemed to take on a bigger role in Boston, and I think he started to justify that 4-year contract he signed with the Celtics.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession. Brandon Bass is checked in for Boston.
Brandon Bass.
There's 39 seconds left in the first half. Back to Humphries. Green left side. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by G. Here's Waiters. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Boy, extremely opportunistic defense leading to those points there.
That dunk, Clark, coming within seconds of the steal.
Love the way they convert from defense to offense.
But that's what happens when you get all 5 guys on a string defensively ready to react and make a play.
Celtics on offense. They're on a 12-4 run right now. There's 18 seconds left in the second quarter. Bradley dishes to Humphries. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That's on Anthony Bennett.
That's his first personal foul.
The Celtics have had 7 opportunities at the free throw line and made good on 5 of them.
About a year ago, they converted about 78% of their free throws as a team, so pretty solid there.
And, you know, that just added to their confidence at the offensive end. I mean, knowing that free throw shooting was something they didn't have to worry about gave them a lot of confidence to play freely.
The first free throw is good. And the Cavaliers making a change here. Both shots good from the stripe. We've got 13 seconds left now here in the second. Irving for 3. Count the bucket. Irving's got 17. He dishes it to Humphries. And the rejection by Verjao. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Celtics lead by 2. And we'll be back right after halftime for the start of the third quarter. We'll see you in a bit.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And welcome to halftime. We got a close game right now out in Boston. The Celtics are making every effort to win. Tremendous defensive effort out there. They're challenging every shot, sending them into the third row. For Rajon Rondo, things certainly going his way against the Cavaliers. He's got 11 points, and he's been all over the defensive side of the court as well. On the other hand, Cleveland also been giving it their best. Active hands is the way you describe their play. Getting a good amount of steals. They're playing up defensively and picking them off. An unbelievable half from Kyrie Irving. He's got 17 points, and he's made some key plays in the assist department, too. And that'll be it for us here. Thanks so much for joining me. Now it's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. We hope to see you around next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
It didn't take long to see what kind of game he was going to have today. He came out very aggressively and had a terrific first half.
You know, you look at his shot chart, it's all graped up. I mean, he's right at the rim. He's driving the lane again and again.
Passes it to G. Can't get it to go. Excellent D there from Pass.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
You know, part of the struggles for Cleveland were defensive. You know, they were last in the league in field goal percentage defense, and when you have that number next to your team name, you're not going to win many games.
As you said, the Cavaliers, Clark, had a lot of problems defensively last year. They had firepower on this roster, but last season they lacked that gritty defender or two, Steve, that could really change a game with their defense.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons they signed Earl Clark from the Lakers in the offseason. Mike Brown thinking that Clark may be able to be a stopper on the perimeter. The big thing, though, with Brown is that his philosophy, the way he looks at the game, all comes from the defensive end. He'll have these guys playing harder.
Now, here is Irving. Here's Bynum. The rebound by the Celtics. Olenek's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Outside Brent. The pass to Olenek. And he drops it in from the low post. And the Celtics lead by 7. Here's Irving. About 1 minute played here in the second half. The feed to Waiters. The dish to Bynum. Defended by Olenek. Baseline try. There's the bucket. 6 points for Andrew Bynum.
You know, you can give a defender a lot of trouble if you're consistent with that turnaround jumper. It's almost impossible to block.
Celtics leading by 5.
Tell you what, when he's healthy, Andrew Bynum is the real deal inside. I mean, he's one of the most impactful centers in the league. His size and ability to score inside can make him tough to guard and hard to deal with, and he simply just has to take advantage of that height and weight to be a force.
Here's Irving after Rajon Rondo's bucket. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it.
And they've been off target now on 3 of the first 4 shots they've taken in this second half.
Talking about Bynum, Steve, the talent undeniable, but after missing so much time with the injury, you know, the question for him revolves now and for the rest of his career around his head.
Yeah, that's the question. That's what you wonder about. Can he ever come back, particularly as a big player? You know, big guys have so much really showing praise last year during the playoffs for Bass's defensive improvement.
They get it again. Banked in off the glass. Bass has got 5 points now in the quarter.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Here's G. He's got 6. They get it back. Here's Thompson, and he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
You know, Kevin, he never gives up on a play. That's what I love about him. He just is one of those guys who will bring effort and energy the entire 48 minutes.
And you know what? He is also relentless on the boards. He works as hard on his rebounding as anybody you're going to see.
On offense, here are the Celtics. They're on a 17-6 run. Outside Rondo. Pass to Bass. Feeds it to Green. Right side Green. Shot clock at 6. And Bass kicks to Rondo. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. And now the fast break. Irving with the ball up the floor. And then Waiters with the jam.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Celtics leading by 11. Outside Rondo. He kicks it to Green. Right side Green. To the middle, Olenek. Up and in on the way. Olenek's got 8 points.
Sharp pass to give his teammate the high percentage shot in close.
The Cavaliers trail by 13. Timeout called. Cleveland.
Kelly Olynyk, a 7-foot.
For your Celtics dancer.
Now here's Waiters, covered by Humphries. Irving against Rondo. Dishes it to Bennett. Back to Irving. Pass to Waiters. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got his 4th assist in this one.
Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Celtics leading by 10. Rondo kicks to Green. Back to Rondo. He feeds it to Humphries. Into Green. Lays it up and banks it in. Green's got 13.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
Now, here is Irving. 17 points in the game. Shot from 12. No luck. Excellent D that time from Banks.
An 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference.
And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Rondo against Irving. Rondo's shot is off.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
Here's Waiters. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Green inside the three-point line. It's rebounded by Cleveland.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it.
Irving dishes the Varejao. Kicks it to G. That drops. G's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Looked like they found the soft spot in the defense there.
Celtics leading by 10. Rondo passes to Brandt. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Bradley's got 10 points. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Now, here is Irving. He dishes it to G. Back to Irving. Passes to G. Rebound, Boston. Bass has got his 3rd rebound on the night.
He's not a guy they're going to be able to count on the way he's playing in this.
Throw it down that time.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying hard to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, Mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now? It's their defense, that's for sure.
Here is Varejao following the bucket by the Celtics. And that one's good. Varejao's got his 1st points of the game.
He's not their first option, but not a bad fallback either.
Boston's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Outside Rondo. Now the pass to Bass. Kicks it out to Bradley. The feed now to Humphries. Shot clock at 5, and it's blocked by Varejao. Now here's Waiters. He's got 13. There's the dish to G. From deep. And it's Bradley with the rebound. Bradley's got 4 rebounds in this game.
He has not been on his game, and their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not helped the situation.
Now here is Humphries. Following the miss by Kyrie Irving. Rondo. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Well, how about Rajon Rondo in this one? 16 points, and what a tear he's been, rejecting shot after shot.
No doubt, Clark. He has absolutely owned the paint. Avoided an injury. That's not happening. The main thing is just fighting to get back, get your knee right, get going again.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. And it's good. Rondo's got 9 points here in the second half.
Really hard to find fault with anything he's doing this quarter, at least at the offensive end.
Outside Irving. Irving gets a screen from Bennett. Rondo against Irving. From the high post. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Boston on top, up by 16. And we'll be back right after this. As we get going here in the 4th quarter, the final quarter of play can change everything. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Celtics.
Man, they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
Another thing they've done tonight is work the ball into the paint for plenty of those close-range points. You got to have those.
And here's Humphries. Rondo with it. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Pass to Humphries. The Celtics working the ball around now. Rondo kicks to Wallace. 6 to shoot. Rondo tries a 3. But they'll get another chance. Here's Humphries. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. Humphries has got the first field goal of the 4th quarter here for the Celtics. The Cavaliers trail by 18. Here's Irving. Feeds it to G. He passes to Thompson. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Coming into last season, Tristan Thompson watched a lot of tape. He noticed he was getting a shot blocked too often inside. So he reached out to Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who's on the Cleveland management team, for some help. And Big Z absolutely had an impact on Thompson's game with his advice.
That free throw good from Thompson. And for Tristan Thompson, Steve, as you mentioned, more efficient last season. Clark kept his field goal percentage by about 5%.
Yeah, he did a nice job there, but he still had a few too many of his shots packed for me. And that means you've got to be able to get your shots off quicker and differently. So that's what I think he's got to look at. Facing up more, going quicker to his move, and then, as I said earlier, developing a go-to move is something he's got to handle.
Boston leading by 16. Rondo kicks to Bass. It's Bradley on the wing. Dishes it to Bass. He feeds it to Olynyk. Pass to Bass. And here is Wallace. Bynum with the block. Lays out. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. And the Cavaliers making a change here. Jack's checked in. About a minute play. We're in the 4th quarter. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And if they continue to shoot well from the free throw line like they are, their lead is going to be pretty steady here.
That's not an overstatement. They've literally not missed a single foul shot this half.
And he makes the first. Dion Waiters checked in for C.J. Miles. And Rondo drops them both. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. The Cavaliers trail by 18. Now here is Jack. He kicks it to Waiters. Back to Jack. Puts up a three. Hits the bucket.
Talk about doing a Rip Van Winkle on defense. Come on, guys, wake up. Why are they leaving him open at the three-point line? Come on.
Now Rondo. And it's Bradley. The drive. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. Bennett's checked in for Cleveland.
Shooting for Boston. Avery Bradley. At the line with one shot.
Cavaliers shooting about 42% so far. Outside Jack. Bennett kicks to Waiters. Bennett setting the pick for Waiters. Pass to Bynum. He dishes it to Jack. No one near him. It's rebounded by Olynyk. Olynyk's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Rondo against Jack. Nice D from Dion Waiters.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
G kicks to Bennett. And there's the pass to Waiters. And here is Jack. And there's the foul. It's on Brandon Bass. That is his first foul of the game. Verishaw with it. 5 to shoot. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. And G with the stuff.
Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
Anderson Verishaw.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. And going back to Andrew Bynum, certainly he's shown the capability to be a go-to scorer on the low block.
Well, he's an old-school center. I mean, you can throw him the ball on the block. He's got great footwork. He can score with either hand. He's an impossible cover when he's physically right. But that's the question. Will he be healthy? If so, then they've got a guy who can demand double teams down there.
You always want a player to have his head up and to be surveying the court, but not if that's going to be the result.
3 points for Kyrie Irving. The Celtics have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Pass defended by Bennett. And the basket is good. The call goes his way, and we could be looking at a 3-point play.
Anthony Bennett. The second person. 14. Shooting for Boston. Brandon Bass.
The free throw drops for Bass. The Cavaliers trail by 17. Outside Irving. He feeds it to G. A finger roll finish at the bucket.
Kevin, too easy. I mean, the defenders were sort of looking at each other like, whose man was he? And everybody thought somebody else was going to guard him, and nobody did.
Boston leading by 15. Now Olynyk. Down low. Deflected. And stolen by Bennett. Here's G. It's stolen by Green. And here's Olynyk. The Cavaliers pull it in. Celtics leading by 8. Here's Green, and then jammed down as he goes right over Andrew Bynum. Here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that right.
You know, the guys on the bench are going crazy right now at the sight of that jam.
Waiters pass it to Bennett. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, you allow them to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Yeah, I think you got to foul them, and free throws are better than a layup.
Anthony Bennett. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that narrows the gap to 7. All free throws good from Bennett.
Those were critical foul shots because we're at the point now where they can't be missing any of those.
For Boston, they've gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the 4th and even 50%. Outside Bradley. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the 4th. And Olynyk kicks to Humphries. Feeds to Green. 6 on the shot clock. The Celtics need to get a shot off. Here's Bradley. Drops in the tray. And the Celtics lead by 9.
A serious game clincher.
Now Miles. And he draws body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion. So he'll head to the free throw line.
Shooting for Cleveland, C.J. Miles. Taking 2 shots.
He gets the first, and that brings them within 8. And Miles drops them both. Here's Crawford. No good hit. So it's the Boston Celtics with the W. Both teams played well, but these guys had the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just steak knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Jeff Green.
Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive, God-like feature that only the special among us will ever taste. You know, it's something that truly exists in all of us. It's very simple. This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it. Period.
Came from the bottom, but I'm coming to the top. Like the test of your will, how much faith do you got? Your foot's on the line, will you ever take a shot and score the game? Winning points when it's zeros to clock out. Came to find that life's the test, there's no cheating either. Just work and stress, if no money's provided, you're eating less. Bills on the